All right, hello guys. Tell us about Clown With A Frown and how did you guys meet, and how did this whole craziness happen?
So basically, Clown With A Frown started around 2 years back. It's when this one holiday season that we were in, we were just really bored, and we always had this urge to play some music and use our talent, like show people what we learn and what we've learned throughout the years. So once me and Johnny kind of met up, and what happened was we just started jamming. It was just drums and guitar, is not much you can do, right? But then we had this weird idea in our head, to just this particular kind of music that we play, pop funk. So we had that in our head, like a whole complete picture of what we wanted at the end of the day. So what we did was, then we got Abitha Basi, and he added the whole, the groove and the bass line to the whole music, and it made such a big difference. And we realized we needed guitarists, and that's where Ruben came in. And we started jamming, and we made a bunch of songs, but then we were still we were in this phase where we still weren't sure on whether we wanted a female vocalist or a male vocalist. And there was this one day when I called Johnny and said, no man, listen, let's get like a female vocalist, because it adds so much more flavor to the music, and let's see how it works. And we auditioned a bunch of people. People came in, went out, and then there was one day when Abby walked in all goth into the jam room, and she had all black, and we were all like, oh, okay, insane singer. She sang, and we were quite taken aback. We just stood and looked at her, and we were like, where did that come from? That kind of situation. She's so small, but the power in her voice, we were surprised, man. We were taken aback completely, and she joined us, and for about a year we were a 5-piece band, and we played a lot of shows. We started off with college competitions, and it's hard, right at the beginning, trying to get our sound right and all of that. So we tried and worked it out, and it started going really well. And there was this point when all of a sudden our music, what we used to listen to, shifted, right? We started listening to old school disco funk, wherein the setups go up to 13-14 people, and we were under this impression that we can never find a trumpet player or a saxophone player anywhere in Bangalore. And there was this one person called Amrita, his classmate, who basically said, hey, I play the trumpet. So he asked her as to whether she knows anybody else. And she brought us this cute boy here, and Kavya. And they came in and said, where's the sheet music? And we're like, what sheet music, man? What are you talking about? They're like, just play. We're gonna play. This is the key of the song, just play. And they were like, okay. And that's how we started jamming. So
Okay, so here now the Bangalore scene, generally you see a lot of rock and metal acts. How did you guys conceive the idea of that we're going to do funk, and when it's not very common, and it's a big risk in terms of how the reception from the crowd is going to be? So how did you deal with that?
Actually, the thing is, we wanted to do it for ourselves because we really enjoyed that. We all come from a PU background, because during those days we used to play like a lot of metal. All of us are from quite a bit bands, from amateur metal bands, and then we kind of got fed up, and this music really spoke to us, and in terms of melodies, in terms of the whole understanding of music, cool music changed. So yeah, we started rediscovering old stuff, 80s, 70s stuff, which it was really it really freaked us out. We started enjoying it so much.
It made us move.
So I saw you guys at B flat. That was my first experience. So I was blown away, the first time. And then I saw you guys again at Oktoberfest, and then at the Mad Festival, Ooty. So one thing everyone asks, whom I was spoken to about Clown With A Frown, how do you guys have that intensity, that energy, day in and day out, go out and perform gigs? How do you manage that?
We eat a lot.
We consume a lot of food.
Also, I think we just have fun. I mean, we love the music we play, so...
You don't really feel tired when you're up on stage and you're playing the music you love.
And more than on stage, it's all about off stage, the chemistry between us off stage. And I think that really shows up on stage when like we play together, we have inside jokes and all that, and then like there are times when I look at each other and then we have that moment and then we laugh on stage and things like that.
Yeah,
That really translates on stage when the audience, from an audience perspective. So yeah.
And even like the energy that the audience gives
Yeah.
back, it's amazing. Like if you have like an extremely energetic audience that's kind of
see
grooving to
metalheads-
your music.
And you see metalheads
Yeah.
like, going like this.
Yeah, when you see people
you've
like
started
swing
When,
something.
you,
their head
when,
side
when
to
they do
side.
this and not this,
Yeah.
then they're like, okay, so we're doing something.
And it feels awesome when you see other people off stage enjoying your music. It makes you want to play so much more intensity.
And that energy from the others ends up rubbing off on us, and
Yeah.
we're just flipping it on stage and having fun. So
So how do you manage with a larger band? See, generally there's 3 or 4. So with you guys, the whole dais is packed. How do you guys manage without overpowering each other, and how do you manage that? Do you speak a lot before you get on stage, or it's just the flow?
It's actually when it comes to the musical part of it, we're still like trying to discover and balance out everything. But I think it's fine because everyone understands to some extent, what we're trying to do, and we're all on the same page, and that way it makes it a lot easier, and everyone's like, has the same amount of commitment, dedication. So when you have that, it's not difficult at all. So it's 9 people on the same platform, so it's really not a big thing.
9 people with the same goal.
Yeah.
And also loads of practice. That like we have
Yeah.
loads of practice, so that really helps us when we go on stage. Like because we know our stuff and we know what has to happen and how it has to sound. So it makes things a lot easier when we are on stage to get that done. So.
And we're not a 5-piece band, so that's why the extra practice kind of comes in, because we're managing more than like 5 people, quite obviously. So all the extra, effort needs to be put into like giving out a great show.
So where do you guys find the time? All of you are college-going people. So how do you find the time? When do you guys do it? Where?
Okay, yeah, well, it's really not an easy thing because, first of all, we're all not in the same college, and on top of that, we all have different times
And some are
that we have
working.
to.
Some are
Yeah,
working,
some
some
are
are
working. So, yeah, so timings are it's really difficult, this thing, to get it all right, like, and bring everybody together. But then we always know that, at the end of the day, we have to come together because well, for one thing, we enjoy doing it. So, we just love it. And so we always like to make that even if it's just 1 hour, that we always take that extra step to like just make time to always have practice.
And more than that, when we do come together, it's always like something productive happens. So even if it's not as frequent as we'd like it to be because there are so many of us, when we do sit together and work, good things come from that.
So after all these gigs that you performed, so now you guys are finally working on a single. So can you tell us about the single and what's it about and how is it going to be?
Well, the song is actually this is probably like one of our first few songs that we've written with the brass section and everyone else, and it's something that that's been inspired by the 70s and 80s disco funk. So you'll hear it when you hear the song. That we've been influenced a lot by old school rather than what we used to play before. And and the song's just about letting go and having a good time, and dancing, and just grooving and doing what you love.
So is it going to be similar to the stuff you're playing, or is it going to be a little different?
It's heading in the direction of where
we want to be.
go. So that's like probably like our first stepping
step
stone.
there.
Yeah, it's a first stepping stone as to where the kind of music that we
And
make.
this single has been a long time in the making.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of background work that has gone into the single. And I mean, when the single does come out eventually, you can see it translating onto the thing, like into the song. The effort that's gone into it. And we always wanted, like even with the recording, like you asked. We wanted something that would be apt for us, so we've tried out different places and we kind of worked together to see what would best suit our requirements, and I think now we've almost got that, so we're just waiting for the last few changes to be done and then we're sorted, so it should be out soon.
So it's gonna be good.
So when do we expect an EP or an album?
It's in the making.
But like with the 10-piece band now.
10-piece
Yeah.
band.
It's gonna take time.
It's gonna
like,
take some
yeah,
time, but
'cause-
the end product we promise is gonna be amazing. So
Yeah, because we don't want to compromise over quality.
Yes.
I mean, we could put out stuff there, but then if it isn't like what we want it to be, then I mean we wouldn't feel nice about putting it out there. So that's why even with the single, we waited till we got the best quality, and then we did kind of waiting for that release.
So I see a couple of new faces in the bunch. So what's the scene with them?
We'd like to introduce our fans to two new members of our band. This is Hannah and this is Alex.
Hi.
And what do they do in the band you won't know until you come to our next show.
and listen to the recording.
Yeah.
please.
Surprise!
So what would you like to tell your fans and the people who come and watched you live at the gigs? You know, the atmosphere which you've created. So what would you like to tell going forward? You know, where Clown With A Frown is going to be heading and how is it going to be?
The point of our performances is for our fans to watch us and enjoy our music, and on top of everything else, have a good time by themselves. You know, they bring their friends along, their family along. So we want them to have an experience of a lifetime watching us, because we know that we're probably unlike many other bands that are coming up right now, and the experience of being in the crowd, we want them to feel like they're back in the 70s or the 80s, and where it's all just about the music, and you know, there's no drama or theatrics. It's good music, and you know, we want them to be able to say after the show, hey, that was really great, I'm gonna come for the next show. So even, I mean, what we want them to feel,
It will be a unique experience.
yeah, unique. But what we want them to feel is pretty much summed up, I think, in our single that's gonna come out.
And we love you again.
Yeah.
Happiness.
We
All
love
around.
We
you.
love you guys.
We love the fans.